Sit with me while I tell you how horrible men are. It was them saying, well, if you don't sleep with me right now, even though you're like 2 days post radical hysterectomy and you have a massive incision on your stomach, if you don't sleep with me right now, I'm going to go sleep with somebody else. Sit with me.
Yes, we have seen women that went through delivery. Let me use labor and childbirth, for example. We have seen women that went through delivery, cesarean section, or vag delivery. Come online or even just asking generally, when can I have sex with my man? Because he won't stop disturbing me. He want to have sex. You see, women that went through cesarean section, they tell them 6 weeks. The man is already like, I can't wait for 6 weeks. They even go ahead to just have sex with their woman, even though she does not want it, even though she's not ready. Even if after 6 weeks she's not still ready, you will see them sleeping with their woman. And we wonder, like, why are these men like this? They're just bunch of animals. Let me show you all this video of this woman saying that she went to a support group and she saw a lot of women going through it after having major surgeries. Their man are gripping them in their homes. Let me show you all this video.
Well, I tell you how horrible men are. If you don't know, if you don't follow me, I had a hysterectomy at 22. I don't have ovaries anymore. I lost one ovary before that procedure, but I don't have ovaries anymore, and I have part of my cervix. So, having a hysterectomy at 22, I obviously felt very isolated. Not a lot of people in my age bracket had to have that surgery and had to go screaming through surgical menopause. And so I searched out for support groups, and I found some support groups on Facebook and a couple other platforms, and I joined them. And let me tell you, when I joined those support groups, I was not at all prepared for the literally illegal and criminal things that were going to be discussed and, I guess, confessed in those groups. And it wasn't the women doing illegal things, it was their partners. It was their partners literally forcing themselves on their freshly post-op wives and girlfriends. It was their partners saying things like, well, the doctor said no P and V, so why don't we do P and B? Or it was them quite literally, again, forcing themselves on their wives. It was them saying, well, if you don't sleep with me right now, even though you're like 2 days post radical hysterectomy and you have a massive incision on your stomach, if you don't sleep with me right now, I'm going to go sleep with somebody else. And so it was them coercing their partners into doing things, or quite literally forcing their partners into doing things that they were not surgically cleared for. They didn't feel, physically or emotionally or mentally ready to do. And a lot of it was the aftermath of that. A lot of it was women saying, I did this because my husband wanted it. I was not ready. And now my organs are literally falling out of me. Now I have prolapse. Now I have a horrific infection. Now I have a widespread infection in my entire pelvis. Now I have to go back in for more surgery. Now I'm hemorrhaging. Help me. What do I do? There are a lot of women who were recovering and had no support whatsoever, and their husband was literally just trying to use them like a blow-up doll. So they had children, they had young children, they had no support system. Their husband was obviously not taking care of the children. So a lot of these women had cancer and had to have full open abdominal incision hysterectomies, and they were literally gutted like a fish. And then they're having to go home. They're still on chemo. They just had a massive surgery, and they're supposed to be taking care of little kids and servicing their husband. And they would post in the group and be like, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like I'm dying. I'm in so much pain. I have no help. Like, what am I supposed to do? And I'll never forget the one young lady. She wasn't much older than me. And she had had her hysterectomy because she had uterine cancer. And I think she also had cervical cancer. And she had to have a full open hysterectomy where, like, they literally carved her innards out. And it's a massive surgery. And then she had some post-operative complications. And when she came home, the day, and I can remember her face still. Like, I remember her profile picture. The day she came home, her husband forced himself on her.
Oh my God.
Stitches. She had a cuff. She had a vaginal cuff because she lost her cervix. Cuff. She had prolapse and she got a raging infection. And he didn't even care. And she was trapped with that man. And this happens all the time. Like, this is not a rarity. I naively, you know, when I was 22 and I joined those groups, I assumed that I would see some of that. But I'm talking like post after post after post, day after day after day of women being like, my husband's trying to pressure me into having sex and I just had a hysterectomy 6 days ago. My husband is trying to pressure me into doing anal, even though the doctor said not to do that either because they're right next to each other. The holes are next to each other. You can't, when you have had that surgery, whether you still have your cervix or not, whether it was, you know, open radical hysterectomy or whether it was a laparoscopic hysterectomy, you cannot go putting stuff in there. It literally could be a death sentence. If you could get a horrific infection, you can have multiple organ prolapse. You can go from needing just the hysterectomy to needing an ostomy bag. And that also happened multiple times. Again, because men could not just not act like a wild, rabid animal and literally attack their wife or attack their partner. And I literally think about that like all the time, every time. And I'm still in some of those groups because it's valuable information and it's a supportive community. But every time I see a post like that, I want to go and find the man that is pressuring that woman or potentially even trying to force himself on that woman, and I want to cut him off. And I want to shove it down his throat. And I want to do it in front of the mirror and make him watch. Because how much of an animal do you have to be? Whether you even like give a shit about your partner or not, just like another human being. How much do you have to view your partner as inferior to you and as subhuman that you know that they just had a surgery that involves nothing going in the kitty cat, and still, because you want to get your rocks off and because you're an animal and you have no self-control, you still make your partner do things knowing it could literally kill them or irreparably and horrifically harm them. And then after you irreparably harm them, you would probably just leave them and then move on to the next woman.
Exactly.
Because that's what happens with disabled and chronically ill women. The male partner leaves when he doesn't get what he wants anymore, or if he ever has to step into a caretaking role. He doesn't step into the caretaking role. He just goes and finds somebody 10 years younger. With me, while I tell you how horrible men are. I had a hysterectomy at 22. I don't have ovaries anymore. Having a hysterectomy at 22, I obviously felt very isolated. And so I searched out for support groups. I was not at all prepared for the literally illegal and criminal things that were going to be discussed with their partners.
So many women don't realize the only thing standing between them and being essayed by their partner is circumstance. Let's be 100% clear here. What's happening here has nothing to do with ex-wives being horny and, oh, they just can't wait. They're turned on by your suffering. If it was just about sexual satisfaction, there's oral, there's hand stuff, there's all kinds of stuff that wouldn't hurt you. It's seeing these women in pain that these men are deriving satisfaction from. To see your partner bleeding and in pain, in stitches, infected, and you're thinking about, getting it on, you're sick. But I hope this also shows you that everything you've been told about the ex-wives by popular society is a myth. You're always told men are visual. This should give the lie to that mentality. They're so visual. Why would someone who is literally going through chemotherapy, physically very much impacted, all stitched up, bleeding from their uterus, why would that be exciting to you? Because it's about power. What these men are getting off on is the idea that these women are powerless. And that's also why their behavior is changing. This is their true face. They're ripping off the mask now because they think you don't have any alternative and you just have to take it. And we see this at many other points. It doesn't have to be a hysterectomy. We see the same thing when women are postpartum. How many nurses and doctors have come on here saying women are in horrible circumstances because their male partners were demanding intimacy right after they gave birth or had a C-section? Again, what is sexy about a woman who is literally hours postpartum? She is bleeding from her cervix. There's membranes everywhere. There's traces of afterbirth. Your breasts are leaking. They might be cracked. Like, what is hot about that? The power and balance. What gets them really hot and ready is the idea that you can't say no, or that you're too weak physically to defend yourself from their incursions. Now, there are a couple of ways you can get to know what this man is like before the ultimate moment of truth. The first is you can feign helplessness. Pretend to be helpless. Act like, you have really bad bunions and you're getting a surgery for them. Oh, you're undergoing something. Maybe you just had a lumpectomy or something like that. It's hard for him to disprove, and act like you are really down for the count and, you need a lot of help, and see how he acts. Now, I want to be clear. This can't just be the flu or something, because men are smart. They're not going to take off their mask for a temporary, non-incapacitating illness. The reason why these men started cutting up specifically around the idea of you giving birth or you having a hysterectomy, something that affects your reproductive organs, is they know women have been taught to associate all of their worth and whatnot as a woman with that area. A woman who's just had a partial or radical hysterectomy might feel like she's less of a woman because she can no longer reproduce. And she might be thinking, no one else is going to want me. If she has cancer, she's thinking, I'm down for the count. I'm off the market. No one's going to be interested in me. I have to take this treatment. If you just had a child, you feel like, I'm tied to this person. Oh, I want us to be a family. I'm stuck with this guy. I have to make it work out no matter what. I don't want my child to come from a broken home. And they take advantage of your societal brainwashing to treat you however they want. So if you're going to test this guy's mentality, you have to test it with something that makes him feel like you are vulnerable, like you really won't be able to get back up from this blow. Make sure you do your research so you can fake your symptoms and recovery time and everything very convincingly. But watch how he behaves. Is his tone changing towards you? Is he all of a sudden making unreasonable demands? Like this woman said, those husbands would come right out and say, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to go out and give it, get it from someone else. Who says that to someone who is literally on chemo, who just had a massive surgery, who has stitches in their body? A monster. But not just any monster. One who wants you to be fearful, one who wants you to have low self-esteem, one who wants you to feel dependent. So watch for any kind of sign of that kind of mentality. You can also test the waters by letting him know you have a backup plan of some kind in place. There was a story that went viral the other day on Reddit, a woman who was engaged talking to her fiance about the plans she had, the backup plans for their marriage, just in case things went awry, the protection she had put in place. And he immediately says, oh, I'm not going to marry you unless you get rid of your backup plan. That guy has just told her all she needed to know. Of course, she didn't take the wisdom that was offered by all the people of Reddit, but that's her business. If you want to stick your toe in the waters, go ahead and let it be known. Oh, I'm thinking of starting a backup bank account. Oh, I have this idea in place. If I were ever sick, me and my friends are talking about trading off services and this thing and that thing. Just tease with an idea. Don't let it be close to what your real plan is. But just test the waters. You can say something like, my friend Sarah has the genetic markers for a debilitating disease, so she has this plan in place. She's got her healthcare surrogate picked out, and she knows that her sister's going to be the one to care for her. And I'm thinking I'm going to go get a healthcare surrogate, and I'm going to make that person my sister. I'm going to make that person my mom. I'm going to make that person whatever. Let him know he's not going to have control over your body, what happens to you should you become terminally ill, and see what his response is. Maybe you're watching Grey's Anatomy on TV and you say, oh, it's a shame that woman has to go through X, Y, and Z. That's why I have it all mapped out. I have my DNR all prepared. and all my money is in a blind trust in case I get sick, whatever. And just see what his response is. Because if you're with somebody who's looking for control, whose ultimate fantasy is you being powerless, it's going to leak out in their conversation. He's not going to be able to control his response. Personally, I'm of the school of why gamble when you could have a sure thing. You could stay away from these creatures and you won't have to worry about it. But women who insist on getting married and having children with them, you need to open your eyes to the reality that is out there. Because as this woman said, this wasn't just a few isolated cases. It was just common in these groups for these women to talk about their husbands and partners attacking them. And they're the ones bearing the consequences and the scars. They're the ones who get the infections. They're the ones whose bodies never heal properly. They're the ones walking around with colostomy bags and ostomy bags because of what their men have done to them. And these guys are going to go right on to the next one. So, protect yourself at all costs because nobody else is going to do it for you. Doctor's orders. That's it. Like and follow for more.
Whenever you don't want to do something, especially when it comes to your body, and they threaten you, like, if you don't do this, another woman will do it for me. Sister, let another woman do it for him. Because even if you do it, that's the thing. Even if you do it, another woman is still going to do it for him. Any man that have the audacity to threaten you after surgery, or even when you don't want to do something, especially after surgery or even while you're sick, and it's telling you that if you do not do it, I will go outside and go look for someone that will do it for me. Sister, let him go. Let him go. Do not let that thing fear you, because that is what fear most women, and they get infection, they worsen their situation, they worsen their sickness, because they feel like I do not want to, I don't want to be the reason whereby my man goes outside to, cheat. I don't want the reason why my man cheats. So they don't want to blame themselves for their man cheating, right? So they just accept anything, especially after surgery or after illness, or even while they are sick, currently sick. They will still sacrifice their body, even though they are not enjoying it, even though they are in pains. Women will still open leg for their man, especially husband and wife. Wife will still open leg for her husband because she's afraid that he might look outside. And that's the thing, because even if you don't, people around you will also advise you. You have to do it. You have to do it. You have to do, like, the thing is so annoying and disgusting, because I don't understand why by you want to have sex with your woman that she doesn't want to have sex with you. That is rape. Most married women are being raped in their homes, and they cannot even come out to say it, because people will be like, "Are you insane? Your husband owns your body, so what are you saying?" They say your husband owns your body, so whatever he wants, whenever he wants your body, he gets it. A reasonable man will not see his woman sick, a woman that does not want to have it, and force her. Any man that threatens you and tell you, if you don't give me, I'm going to go outside to do it, let him go. That's just it. I just feel like that, don't let that get to you. Don't be afraid, oh, I don't want another woman to snatch. Let them snatch him. Let him be snatched. Let him go. Just say go. Let him go. Because if he's already threatening you and telling you, if you don't give me, I'm going to go. Number one, his is already going. Yeah, it's already out there. Or even after the whole thing, it will still go out there, because it will not still be satisfied. It will still go out there. Like, this is just crazy. A woman is going through cancer, chemotherapy, after a surgery, and the next thing is to, what you're thinking about is how to have sex with her, even when she has not fully healed. You guys, what is your take on this video? Can you share your thoughts? down in the comment section. Respectfully, as always, your girl Mara David, and thank you so much for tuning in today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. Please like and share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next one, guys.